order.
Good. How you doing, Rob?
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just taking it in.
Yeah. Were you sick you were sick sick also this weekend?
Yeah, before Jeff, yeah.
Ugh.
And before me.
On antibiotics and coughing up this extremely dark brown phlegm.
Oh,
It was bad.
gross. That's awful.
Yeah, and then I went to urgent care. They tested me for COVID. It wasn't COVID, and they're just like, yeah, just give you antibiotics, and you'll be and some cough medicine, and you'll be good to go.
You're like, okay, you won't tell me what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, okay,
hope for the best.
Thanks.
He had a couple of coworkers that were sick. Holly may have been patient zero. I don't know.
Yeah. She could have. She definitely could have. She had a sinus infection, I think she said. Yeah.
She said, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Nick, Rob's in the next room because we tried it right next to each other. We got an echo. I don't know if you were here for that or not.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I know what's going on. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a gnarly echo for sure.
Yeah. That's great. All right, you guys ready?
Let's rock and roll.
All right, Lieutenant, call your witness.
Defense calls Colonel Nathan Jessup.
Colonel, do you solemnly swear that the testimony you will give in this general court-martial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Would you state your name, rank, and current billet for the record, please, sir?
Colonel Nathan R. Jessup, Commanding Officer, Marine Ground Forces, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Thank you, sir. Would you have a seat, please?
Colonel, when you learned of Santiago's letter to the NIS, you had a meeting with your two senior officers, is that right?
Yes.
The executive officer, Lieutenant Jonathan Kendrick, and the company commander, Captain Matthew Markinson.
Yes.
And at present, Captain Markinson is dead, is that right?
Objection. I'd like to know just what defense counsel is implying.
I'm implying simply that at present, Captain Markinson is not alive.
Surely Colonel Jessup doesn't need to appear in this courtroom to confirm that information.
I just wasn't sure if the witness was aware that 2 days ago, Captain Markinson took his own life with a .45 caliber pistol.
The witness is aware, the court is aware, and now the jury is aware. We thank you for bringing this to our attention. Move on, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir. Colonel, at the time of this meeting, you gave Lieutenant Kendrick an order. Is that right?
I told Kendrick to tell his men that Santiago was not to be touched.
And did you give an order to Captain Markinson as well?
I ordered Markinson to have Santiago transferred off the base immediately.
Why?
I felt that his life might be in danger once word of this letter got out.
Grave danger?
Is there any other kind?
We have the transfer order that you and Markinson co-signed, ordering that Santiago be lifted on a flight leaving Guantanamo at 6 the next morning. Was that the first flight off the base?
The 6 a.m. flight was the first flight off the base.
Colonel, you flew up to Washington earlier this morning. Is that right?
Yes.
I noticed you're wearing your Class A appearance and dress uniform for court today.
As are you, Lieutenant.
Did you wear that uniform on the plane?
Please, the court. Is this dialogue relevant to anything in particular?
The defense didn't have an opportunity to depose this witness, Your Honor. I'd ask the court for a little latitude.
Very little latitude.
Colonel?
I wore fatigues on plane.
And you brought your dress uniform with you?
Yes.
And a toothbrush, a shaving kit, change of underwear?
Your Honor, is the colonel's underwear a matter of national security?
Gentlemen, you better get somewhere with this fast, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir. Colonel?
I brought a change of clothes and some personal items.
Thank you. After Dawson and Downey's arrest on the night of the 6th, Santiago's barracks room was sealed off and its contents inventoried. Pairs of camouflage pants, 6 camouflage shirts, 2 pairs of boots, 1 pair of brown shoes, 1 pair of tennis shoes, 8 khaki t-shirts, 2 belts, 1 sweater.
Please, the court, is there a question anywhere in our future?
Lieutenant Caffey, I have to.
I'm wondering why Santiago wasn't packed. I'll tell you what. We'll get back to that one in a minute. This is a record of all telephone calls made from your base in the past 24 hours. After being subpoenaed to Washington, you made 3 calls. I've highlighted those calls in yellow. Do you recognize those numbers?
I called Colonel Fitzhughes in Quantico, Virginia. I wanted to let him know I'd be in town. Second call was to set up a meeting with Congressman Raymond of the House Armed Services Committee. Third call was to my sister Elizabeth.
Why'd you make that call, sir?
I thought she might like to have dinner tonight.
Judge.
I'm going to put a stop to this now.
Your Honor, these are the telephone records from Gitmo for August 6th, and these are 14 letters that Santiago wrote in 9 months requesting, in fact, begging for a transfer. Upon hearing the news that he was finally getting his transfer, Santiago was so excited that, do you know how many people he called? 0. Nobody. Not 1 call to his parents saying he was coming home. Not 1 call to a friend saying, can you pick me up at the airport? He was asleep in his bed at midnight. And according to you, he was getting on a plane in 6 hours. Yet everything he owned was hanging neatly in his closet and folded neatly in his footlocker. You were leaving for 1 day and you packed a bag and made 3 phone calls. Santiago was leaving for the rest of his life and he hadn't called a soul and he hadn't packed a thing. Can you explain that? Fact is, there was no transfer order. Santiago wasn't going anywhere. Isn't that right, Colonel?
Object, Your Honor. It's obvious that Lieutenant Caffey's intention this morning is to smear a high-ranking Marine officer in the desperate hope that the mere appearance of impropriety will win him points with the jury. It's my recommendation, sir, that Lieutenant Caffey receive an official reprimand from the bench and that the witness be excused with the court's deepest apologies.
Overruled.
Your Honor.
The objections noted.
Colonel? Funny stuff.
No, it's not. It's tragic.
Do you have an answer?
Absolutely. My answer is I don't have the first damn clue. Maybe he was an early morning riser and he liked to pack in the NQ. Maybe he didn't have any friends. I'm an educated man, but I'm afraid I can't speak intelligently about the travel habits of William Santiago. What I do know is that he was set to leave the base at 0600. Now, are these really the questions that I was called here to answer? Phone calls and footlockers? Please tell me if you've got something more, Lieutenant. Please tell me there's an ace up your sleeve. These 2 Marines are on trial for their lives. Please tell me their lawyer hasn't pinned their hopes to a phone bill. Do you have any other questions for me, Counselor?
Lieutenant Caffey? Lieutenant, do you have anything further for this witness?
Thanks, Danny. I love Washington.
Excuse me. I didn't dismiss you.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not through with my examination. Sit down.
Colonel.
What's that?
I'd appreciate it if he addressed me as Colonel or Sir. I believe I've earned it.
Defense counsel will address the witness as Colonel or Sir.
I don't know what the hell kind of an outfit you're running here.
And the witness will address the court as Judge or Your Honor. I'm quite certain I've earned it. Take your seat, Colonel.
What would you like to discuss now? My favorite color?
Colonel, the 6 a.m. flight was the first one off the base.
Yes.
There wasn't a flight that left 7 hours earlier and landed at Andrews Air Force Base at 2 a.m.
Lieutenant, I think we covered this ground, haven't we?
Your Honor, these are the tower chief's logs for both Guantanamo Bay and Andrews Air Force Base. The Guantanamo log lists no flight that left at 11 p.m., and the Andrews log lists no flight that landed at 2 a.m. I'd like to admit them as defense exhibits A and B.
I don't understand. You're admitting evidence of a flight that never existed.
We believe it did, sir. Defense will be calling Airman Cecil O'Malley and Airman Anthony Perez. They were working the ground crew at Andrews at 2 a.m. on the 7th.
Your Honor, these men weren't on the list. Rebuttal witnesses, Your Honor, called specifically to reflight testimony offered under direct examination.
I'll allow the witnesses.
This is ridiculous.
Colonel, a moment ago,
Check the tower logs, for Christ's sake.
we'll get to the airmen in just a minute, sir. A moment ago, you said that you ordered Kendrick to order his men not to touch Santiago.
That's right.
And Kendrick was clear on what you wanted.
Crystal.
Any chance Kendrick ignored that order?
Ignored the order?
Any chance he just forgot about it?
No.
Any chance Kendrick left your office and said, the old man's wrong?
No.
When Kendrick spoke to the platoon and ordered them not to touch Santiago, any chance they ignored him?
Have you ever spent time in an infantry unit, son?
No, sir.
Ever served in a forward area?
No, sir.
Ever put your life in another man's hands? Ask him to put his life in yours?
No, sir.
We follow orders, son. We follow orders or people die. It's that simple. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Bristol. Colonel, I have just one more question before I call Airman O'Malley and Airman Perez. If you gave an order that Santiago wasn't to be touched and your orders are always followed, then why would he be in danger? Why would it be necessary to transfer him off the base at all?
Private Santiago was a substandard Marine. He was being transferred off the base because...
But that's not what you said. You said he was being transferred because he was in grave danger.
Yes, that's correct.
You said he was in danger. I said grave danger. You said...
Yeah, I recall what I said.
I can have the court reporter read it back for you.
I know what I said. I don't need it read back to me like I'm damn...
Then why the two orders, Colonel? Why did
Sometimes men take matters into their own hands.
No, sir. You made it clear just a moment ago that your men never take matters into their own hands. Your men follow orders or people die. So Santiago shouldn't have been in any danger at all. Should he have? Colonel?
You little bastard.
Your Honor, I have to ask for a recess to...
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
If Kendrick told his men that Santiago wasn't to be touched, then why did he have to be transferred? Colonel? Kendrick ordered the code red, didn't he? Because that's what you told Kendrick to do.
Object.
Counsel.
And when it went bad, you cut these guys loose.
Your Honor.
That'll be all, counsel.
You had Markinson sign a phony transfer order.
Judge.
You doctored the logbooks.
Damn it, Kathy.
I'll ask for the 4th time you ordered.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to them.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's going to do it? You? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. That Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives. And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You don't want the truth. Because deep down in places you don't talk about, at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me there. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use these words as the backbone to a life spent defending something. You use them like a punchline. Now, I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom I provide, then questions the manner in which I provided. I'd prefer you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you're entitled to.
Did you order the code red?
I did the best job you sent me to do.
Did you order the code red?
You're goddamn right I did.
Please, the court, I suggest the jury be dismissed so that we can move to an immediate Article 39A session. The witness has rights.
Lieutenant Ross.
Jack.
The sergeant at arms will take the jury to the anteroom where you'll wait until further instructions.
What the hell's going on here? Captain, what the hell's going on? I did my job. I do it again. Now I'm getting on a plane and I'm going back to my base.
MPs, guard the prisoner.
Guard the prisoner.
What the hell?
Colonel Jessup, you have the right to remain silent. Any statement you do make can be used against you in a trial by court
I'm being
martial
charged with a
or
crime.
other judicial or administrative.
You have
That's
the
the right to remain.
Marine. I'm being charged with a crime. I'm like, what? This is what's happening. This is this. Oh, this is funny. You know that this is. I'm gonna tear your eyes right out of your head and piss in your dead skull. You fucked with the wrong Marine.
Colonel Jessup, do you understand those rights as I have just read them to you?
I saved lives. That boy there, there was a weak link. I saved lives. You hear me? You fucking people. You have no idea how to defend a nation. And all you did was weaken a country today, Caffey. That's all you did. You put people in danger. Sweet dreams, son.
Don't call me son. I'm a lawyer and an officer of the United States Navy, and you're under arrest, you son of a bitch. Witness is excused.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Something we should probably do is we should probably beef up Rob's lines when he's reading the Miranda rights. That way he has more to read while Jeff's...
Well, I'm going over the top of it.
Yeah.
We could
Is
do
it
that.
weird.
Is
I
there
mean,
more to it? Is there more to the Miranda rights? Is that abbreviated? I think.
Yeah, and it like on his, it's like dot like he continues, and then it says like that he finishes reading the rights. I mean, like it cuts away to.
Yeah, you have the right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, the right to remain silent. But, oh no, you already said that. But yeah, whatever it is.
But there are more. There are more. There.
Yeah, we'll get the full thing.
And it may not be the
And,
Mirandas because it's a special court. It's a court martial actually, and they have their own. So because he's saying, you know,
would it be a different?
it might, or just
They're very
make shit up.
similar.
You know, we can say whatever we want.
I mean, I feel like, you know, one, if we look for other versions, there might be something else there. But I mean, we don't have to like get like the full thing, but like just like whenever like whoever is going to
Yeah, so
go through and reformat and fix this, like whenever you like put them side by side, you'll be able to see like how much we need to add.
Yeah. And
But
then we take it out and test it
Yeah,
out.
it looks like it's called Article 31. Comparable to Miranda warnings, Article 31 specifies the right to accuse military member.
Mm.
One difference between the two is Miranda rule applies to civilian. Oh yeah.
Mm.
So I think it might be even the same wording, but
Mm.
but I'll find that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I do think we need to beef it up a little bit. That way, he still has something to say
Yeah.
because he's like yelling over him. Like
Yeah.
he's clearly not listening to his rights being read to him.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole point.
Right.
Yep.
I'm not seeing it. I can't. I'll find it. I'll dig it up. But yeah, I think that I'll have them going side by side, and we'll have like a really make it feel chaotic.
Yeah, it'd be super muddy there because otherwise
Yeah,
it takes you out.
exactly. And then for it also to sort of build to this kind of moment where he lunges at you, right?
Yeah.
And you can have, I think that's like the fun of the muddiness and the overlapping is it's just going to get hectic and it kind of builds to this thing, and then he lunges, and then
Yeah,
and then it gets quiet too, and then you can have your witness's excuse moment,
Yeah.
after it calms down a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I think I do think that
Oh, you can stop recording now too.
yeah.
I think.
Finding like